early in the NBA season, but still got to show some love to what Austin Reaves did, the headband hero. Sometimes you wear a headband and it looks like a tourniquet from the Revolutionary War. I'm just saying. Reaves, there's no LeBron, there's no Luka. Luka's expected to miss a week. He's got a finger and a leg issue. Not sure that those two are connected. That'd be weird if they were. Austin Reaves, though, hit one near the logo. Then you see the lay-in after he relieved Dario Saric of the basketball. Going to pull up over DeMar DeRozan. In 3 games without LeBron and Luka in the lineup, he averages more than 44 a game. I'm just saying. 6 of 10 from distance. That over Dennis Schroeder. Reaves going to feed Rui Hachimura, who had 18 points. Hachimura shooting 69% on the floor from the season. Just going to lay out after that. James Vanderbilt said he goes, I was telling AR, shoot, we're going to need 50 from you tonight. And as you can see, he did it. He got 51. First Laker to go 50, 10, and 5 since Kobe in 2006.
Yeah, Cooper had another good game tonight, but D'Angelo Russell, as everyone expected, carried them home to a big victory over the Raptors. I think we have to start with look, let's just be honest here. Let's just call it how it is. Let's get the get up headline out and do it for them. LeBron James and Luka Doncic are holding Austin Reaves back.
Clearly.
Let's just say it.
If the Lakers averages 51 when Luka doesn't play this year.
If the Lakers get to play the Sacramento Kings 82 times, they would be 82-0.
You took the Kings. Pretty early in the wins pool pod there, buddy.
I mean, pretty early. I think I took them 22nd, and they should have been lower than that. They were an abomination watching this game in the second half today. Austin Reaves got whatever he wanted, but I don't know how the Kings are going to stop anybody this season.
Well, the Kings right now are still complaining about the free throws that the Lakers got. I'm not sure.
Yeah, hey, guess what? Here's what I watched in the second half. I watched in the second half the Sacramento Kings let the Lakers do whatever the hell they wanted on offense the whole time. Now, Zach LaVine was taking crazy, terrible shots. I know he had 32 points. He took several horrible shots in the fourth quarter. Unless they have Keon Ellis out there, they don't have anybody who can stop the ball. Domantas Sabonis got worked on an offensive rebound for a dunk by DeAndre Ayton down the stretch of the game. I just don't, watching that game, I don't see how they're going to guard anybody with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Domantas Sabonis.
Well, they're not
playing together.
They're not. And they're not.
Which is why they gave up 130 to the whatever the score was to a Lakers team without Luka and LeBron, and had Austin Reaves turn into the Human Torch.
Well,
now,
DeAndre
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. I do recall the USWB going tinkle, tinkle, Wendy, when you declared that Austin Reaves could be an all-star this season. Now, is Austin Reaves going to have a lot? Hold on. Is he going to have a lot of 51 point, 11 rebound, 9 assist performances? Perhaps not, but this did not come out of nowhere. First couple games, the man averaged 25.5 points and 10 assists. Austin Reaves, I'm 58% shooting, by the way. Austin Reaves is living up to Wendy's hype, not just tonight, but so far this season.
Well, what happened here was Austin Reaves was deep in his bag of using his dark arts tricks to get to the foul line. He's one of the best in the league at it, but his usage rate often doesn't allow him to do it. This game it did, because not only were LeBron and Luka out, and we'll talk about Luka in a second, he's going to miss about a week, give or take.
At least a week.
But then Gabe Vincent turned his ankle. He was the other starter. So they were pretty much down to almost no ball handlers. And so, it was just a command performance by him. And then an iconic, perfect Austin Reaves comment after the game, which is extremely Austin Reaves in his walk-off interview, where he said, "I ain't got no words."
Hillbilly Kobe, baby.
It was perfect. That should be put on a T-shirt. I ain't got no words. 51, 11, and 9.
No words, lots of game.
Well, look, and Austin Reaves is a very good on-ball player, and obviously he's not going to go for 51 every night. But if you have the ball in his hands like this,
he's not.
I would be surprised. We'll see what he does tomorrow on Monday night against Portland. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not going to go for 51 again against Portland. But he is a guy that's going to put up numbers if he has the ball in his hands a lot, and he had an incredible game.
He was putting up numbers when Luka was in the lineup. Like,
well,
yeah,
I'm not.
Austin's
I know he
been,
can score. That's my point. If you give him the ball, he's proven he can put up numbers. He's a good player.
So Austin, he's been terrific ever since training camp. I mean, as soon as throughout the whole preseason, he looked great. Jackson got some numbers from ESPN Research. His 12 made field goals were tied for the third fewest in a regular season game where the guy got 50 points. The other two were Kevin Martin, who was also a specialty of the dark arts of getting to the foul line and all the things. He was sort of one of the early adopters where he would do some stuff that was just wild. And James Harden, who it was a game that he went.
It tracks.
I don't remember this game, but James Harden went 11. So Kevin Martin in 2009 scored 50 points in a game where he went 11 of 22 from the field. My guess is he had over 20 free throws. I'm sure maybe Jackson can find it.
That'd be the math.
Harden went 11 of 37 in a game in 2019.
I do remember that. I remember that. Who was it against? Does it say?
He doesn't have that. I'm sure he'll look it up for us. But Mike Trudell, who's a Lakers sideline reporter, provided us with this information.
It was a Spurs-Rockets game. James Harden went 11 for 37 from the field, 4 for 20 from 3. It was 24 for 24 from the foul line in a 135-133 double overtime loss to the Spurs.
Oh, so that's all kinds of asterisks. There's 2 rows of asterisks on that performance.
That's impressive, though.
All right, so Mike Trudell, who's the Lakers sideline reporter, gives us these numbers. And I just want to, again, if you wanted to, put a headline that said that Luka and LeBron are holding them back. The last 3 times that Austin Reaves played where LeBron and Luka did not, these were the results.
Uh-oh.
Last February versus Indiana, I heard they were good last year. 45 and 7 assists.
Huh.
Last March versus Denver, I also heard they were good last year. 37 and 13 assists. And then tonight, 9 assists and 11 rebounds.
Well, it sounds like the Lakers should give him a max next summer and not sign anybody else. And it sounds like they'll be off the championship land. That's what it sounds like to me.
For other teams as well.
I will say this. One thing that's not in doubt is his value on his contract this year. But Bontemps does point out a difficulty as people think about the Lakers with all their free agents. It's one of the reasons why getting cap space isn't the greatest thing in the world, because sometimes you got to pay your own guys, and they can only spend to the cap then.
Now this is early. There's obviously a whole season to play out. Can Reaves not do this because this is ridiculous, but can he consistently be an elite number 2 guy? Can he play at an all-star level all season long? If the answer is yes, then I think the Lakers can go into next summer thinking, hey, we've got our number 1, we've got our number 2. Let's fill this out with defensive-minded.
But that's the problem. They can't.
Shooters.
That's the problem. The problem is they can't.
Why?
That's the problem. Because if you pay Luka Doncic $60 million, whatever they're paying him, and if they have to pay Austin Reaves a max, they're not going to have any cap space left over.
Well, in a vacuum, what do you do about that?
In
a vacuum, what do you do?
I'm not saying there's a good answer to the problem, but that's the problem.
Well, there's an answer. In a vacuum, what do you do?
Well, this is you're going to turn this into a trade LeBron pod. That's what we're going to do.
No, I'm not turning into the pod. I'm just saying.
That's exactly what you just did. That's exactly what you just did. We're really doing this off of one game against the Kings, the first weekend of the season.
Nope, 3 games.
I'm telling you that I think Austin Reaves can be an all-star this year. The only reason I think he might not be is if the Lakers don't win enough to get 2 all-stars.
Is Austin Reaves one of the 16 best Americans in the league?
He was tonight. Has been so far this season.
I'm just saying, is he? Because that's the new rules.
Perhaps. We'll see. We'll see what he does. Well, look, it's 3 games, but if 3 games are a sign of things to come, then potentially.
Well, yes. Again, if they play the Kings every game the rest of the year. Look, here's what I would say. If I'm Austin Reaves and his agent. No, hold on. In all seriousness, if I'm Austin Reaves and his agent, this is a gigantic week for him. It's a real opportunity for him to try to establish himself as a guy who should 100% get a max deal next summer, right? That's what this season, in a lot of ways, for Austin Reaves, this season's about how much money can he prove he deserves to get next summer. He had a bad playoffs. There was a lot of questions coming out of that series against Minnesota about just how much should he get paid next summer. Austin and his camp was immediately turned down the extension from the Lakers, as they should have. It was not realistic for him to sign for 4 for $89 or whatever the number was. But look, he had an incredible game.
That when they offered it was, hey,
no, of course,
as a courtesy, here's the offer.
Of course. He had an incredible game tonight against a god-awful defensive team. Monday night, they're playing Portland, who has Drew Holiday, who has Tumani Kamara, who has Donovan Clingan at the rim. They're an excellent defensive team. They obviously played tonight. They lost to the Clippers across town. If he goes out and scores 35 on Tumani Kamara and they win again Monday night, that's another one to file away for next summer. Minnesota, we'll see what happens with Anthony Edwards. He left the first quarter of tonight's game with a hamstring injury. He might not be playing Wednesday.
Tightness is what they called it. Not an injury.
It takes a lot to knock Edwards out of a game. That was worrisome.
You leave a game and can't come back with a hamstring issue, it's usually not something you're immediately going to bounce back and play from. Hopefully Ant is back right away. And then they've got Memphis, who obviously has had all these injury issues and has had a very up and down start to the season on Friday. And then Miami, who's off to a decent start on Sunday. But with Luka out, with LeBron out, with a pretty limited roster around them, they've got 8 or 9 healthy players at the moment. This is a huge opportunity for him. And if he does average 35 and 9 assists this week, and they go 3-1, that's something they're going to be able to point to next July and say, hey, if you sign Austin Reaves, you're getting an all-star caliber player. You should give him a max and go get him if you're Brooklyn or if you're one of these, Utah, one of these teams that's going to have money next summer that could use a on-ball guy who can generate, whatever you said his numbers are so far, McMahon, 25 and 8 a game.
It was 25 and a half and 10 going into tonight. I'm not good enough at math to do it right away.
The numbers are going to be over 30 a game then, and
what is it? Like 34 and double figure assists per game so far. Yeah. I love Bontemps' spin. Austin Reaves is off to a great start. Here's why that's awful news for the Lakers.
I didn't say it was awful news. I didn't say it was awful news for the Lakers at all. I mean, that was a really important game tonight. They needed to win that game.
I want to really lean into this. So after the game, they were talking to Austin. They asked him if that was the most points he's ever scored in a game. And he said no, that he scored 73 points in high school. And the Twitter sleuth immediately went out and they found the game that he scored 73. It was in a triple overtime game. Scored 73.
Triple overtime in high school is probably only 47 minutes, so even better.
Yeah, so his team won 117 to 115 in triple overtime, and he played for Cedar Ridge, and they played against Forest City, which apparently was a bitter rival, and they had a star player named Robert Glasper, and Robert Glasper scored 59 in that game. I just looked him up. He goes by R.J. Glasper, and he's now playing in Greece.
Okay.
He's averaging 18 points in the Greek league.
Awesome.
Bontemps is just he's in hell right now. But
I think it's insane we're talking about R.J. Glasper.
Well, I'm going to say
that's
this.
What I would say.
What I'm going to say is, it's the NBA season. It's a regular season night. Let's just have some fun.
We are clearly we're talking about R.J. Glasper. What else are we doing?
Hey, he had 59 in a game against Austin Reaves, future NBA All-Star.
Yes, well, maybe
NBA for Bontemps is no beaming allowed.
There's
definitely no beaming in Sacramento tonight. That's for sure.
The Kings.
That's true.
The Kings were just incensed at 46 to 18 on free throws. DeRozan, Doug Christie complained about.
I was incensed